Since he took the oath of office on May 29, 2023, as the fourth governor of Taraba State, Kefas Abu has not left any stone unturned to address the inherited security challenges bedeviling the state. The governor, who was disturbed by the recent communal conflict between the Jukun and TVC in Wukari local government that led to loss of lives and property, is now working round the clock in desperation to end the conflict. He has assured citizens of Taraba that his administration would go the extra mile to protect them and their property, irrespective of tribe and political inclination. The governor is now involving monarchs and other critical stakeholders in efforts by his administration to end security challenges confronting the state. In demonstration to this, he visited the scene of the crisis in Wukari for first-hand information about the attack in Sokundi Road in Wukari, which led to the death of 3 persons and left several others injured. In Wukari, the governor's first port of call was the palace of Akuka, Manu Ishaku Adahali. He disclosed that he was there to gather the situation reports and to preach forgiveness and peace.
Abin da ya kawo ni yau saboda security report da na samu da abubuwan da suke faruwa, shi yasa na zo gida zo mu gani da yawan da suke gida yadda za a yi samun zaman lafiya kuma su yi hankuri.
The paramount ruler of Jukun told the governor that the traditional institution, with the support of various security agencies, were able to nip the situation in the bud and reiterated his resolve to ensure peaceful coexistence in the area.
Security the sojoji, the police, the civil defense, dukkan su yi kokari sun tashi a tsaye sun ga lalle wannan abu ya kwanta kuma sun kwanta da shi. Ya mai martaba muna musu godiya, muna kuma karfafa musu gwiwa su yi fiye da haka domin yayin da muke ciki yayin damuwa ne. So ina musu farin ciki, ina musu godiya da yadda suka dauki wannan abu da karfi.
The governor, while in Wukari, also visited families of the 2 people killed in the attack and persons receiving treatment at the Wukari General Hospital. Meanwhile, members of the Taraba State House of Assembly have urged the governor to declare a state of emergency insecurity as part of strategies to address the problem. The lawmakers, who expressed their intention to rally round the governor with a view to creating an enabling atmosphere for peace in the state, are worried about the ongoing killings by bandits in some communities in the state. The members representing some state constituency are Honorable Abubakar John Tanko Yusuf, Takum 1 constituency, Honorable John Lamba, Takum 2 constituency, Honorable Joshua Urewang Rekukbi, Usa constituency, Honorable Angia Josiah Yaro, Wukari 2 constituency, Honorable Jethro Yakubu Zikengwo, Wukari constituency, and Honorable Anas Shoaibu, Wukari Lamido 2, raised a motion calling the governor to declare a state of emergency on security. Reading the motion on behalf of others, Honorable Abubakar John Tanko Yusuf, Takum 1 constituency, noted that unknown gunmen have sustained attacks on several communities in parts of southern Taraba, as well as in Karim Lamido local government area of the same state. He reasoned that the sporadic and unprovoked attacks in the aforementioned areas have led to wanton destruction of lives and properties, including farmlands and other means of livelihood of people of the area. According to him, the people that were affected by the crisis have been rendered homeless, without food, access to health care, education, thereby exposing them to famine, epidemic, attendant hardships, and other inconveniences. The crisis, which has persisted at first spreading to some neighboring communities in Donga and Kurumi local government area respectively, thereby jeopardizing the stability of these areas.
The matter of urgent importance on the need to beef up security in Kapun, Kusa, Wukari, and Karimland local government areas and Yamsu Special Economic Area of Taraba State. The Honorable House may recall that recently, unknown gunmen have rained heavy attacks on several villages, communities in parts of southern Taraba as well as the Karimland local government area of the same state. This Honorable House may note that these sporadic and unprovoked attacks in the aforementioned areas have led to wanton destruction of lives and properties, including farmlands and other means of livelihood of the people of these areas. This Honorable House may be concerned that the people affected by the crisis have been rendered homeless, without food, access to health care and education, thereby exposing them to famine, epidemics, and attendant hardships and other inconveniences of displacement. This House may also note that the crisis which has persisted is now snowballing into banditry and is fast spreading to some neighboring communities in Donga and Kurmi local government areas, respectively, thereby jeopardizing the stability of these areas. This House may be worried that bandits, terrorists have taken advantage of the crisis to take over control of communities such as Taji, Muji, Bashi, Basam, Shenta, Pashenbe, Jukun, Tumbu, Kwaribu, Yadi, among others in Kapun local government area, where they are forcefully ejected and the original inhabitants turn their farmlands into grazing fields and banditry camps to serve as havens to further perpetrate criminal activities such as kidnapping. In the same vein, along Kapun Kashingula Road, Lufu, Kapia, and Achirakera communities were attacked and 3 people were killed. Again, this House may note that if these banditry activities are not brought to an end as quickly as possible, it will lead to a humanitarian crisis with all the attendant consequences. In Musa Aziz, it is worrisome to note that over 80 people have been massacred, while scores of settlements are being constantly attacked. In the last attacks, the terrorists waylaid innocent and defenseless people as they moved freely between Kapun and Musa. In the wake of this, 2 immigration officers were accosted and killed by the bandits between Government Training Secondary School, GTTS, and Government Secondary School, GSS Camp. These bandits' onslaught on the defenseless locals' villages have affected communities in Kusa and Yamsu. They are Jedwa Kogi, Wukari, Rebasi, Pambo, Yashi, PQ, and Kwesati, among others. The situation in the affected communities is very pathetic and worrisome. In Wukari local government area, these banditry attacks took place along Wukari's Kogi axis, resulting in the killings of 9 people, while Mr. Mikin Nahasebe and Mr. Ilya Mirigan narrowly escaped death, but their valuable belongings were snatched from them. In Karimlamido local government area, the border community villages sharing boundaries with Plateau, Gokshi, and Gombe states have been experiencing banditry attacks recently. They include Bachamaduzen, Kofa, Negiri, Garau, Komodoro, Jabjab, Telajibu, Michigan, Korea, Chibi, Balongo, Binari, Ilela, Kambari, and Ama. This House realizes the fact that as a responsible government, the security, welfare, and well-being of the citizenry is of utmost priority, and hence we need to deploy all its capacities to beef up security in the affected areas in the state, Taraba State, is needed to ensure the safety of the people and their properties. Our prayers are, I humbly move and let it be resolved as follows. 1. That the executive arm of government should, as a matter of urgency, deploy adequate security forces in these areas to contain the incessant attacks of people by the bandits. 2. That the executive arm of government should direct the State Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials such as foodstuff, building materials, medical facilities to the victims in order to alleviate their suffering from the attacks by the bandits. 3. that the Taraba state government should liaise with its Adamawa, Bauchi, Benue, Gombe, and Plateau states counterparts to establish joint border security patrol in order to curb border criminal activities. 4. That the executive arm of government should, as a matter of urgency, restore security checkpoints along Banya Tapum Highway and from Tapum to Usa to check the influx of these criminal elements into the hinterland. 5. That the executive arm should take over the responsibility of feeding the security forces stationed at Andemi and Tamil from the communities, as the communities can no longer afford this. 6. That the Taraba state government, in conjunction with the federal government, should, as a matter of urgency, constitute a high-powered security committee to monitor the security situation in the affected areas in order to curb the menace of farmer herders' hostilities. 7. Any other measure that may be incidental that can bring relief to the affected people communities. I beg to move.
All the lawmakers shared their views on the security situation in the state, while also proffering solutions.
I stand to also make contribution to what my honorable colleagues have said. Just 3 weeks or so ago, a lecturer in the Federal University of Wukari was attacked in his farm behind the university and killed. His motorcycle was taken away. And also, 4 people were also injured. Mr. Speaker, to also add to this, in Rafikada, few other people were attacked. And only yesterday, a man was killed in his farm. And 3 women were kidnapped. However, later they were released after collecting their phones. Mr. Speaker, I'm also particularly worried about the incidents around the university. Of course, the university houses our children from all over the state and even beyond Taraba state. This underscores the need for the executive to act on the prayers that were presented.
Are the major roads that people use to go to their farm in that area. And the roads have become too fearful now because the attack in that road is becoming almost every time. From our own analysis, when they attack on the 16th and attack on the 25th, it does a gap of 9 days. But the days keep on reducing up to the time that even on that very day we are here having our inauguration, the militants still went to that area and attack. And from that day, which is second, on the 4th again, which is Sunday, they attack. The days are reducing from 9, 8, 2. We are so worrisome that if they become every day, people in that area will not be able to go to farm. So we are pleading with this honorable house to the government that we should try as much as possible to provide us with the security, police, vigilantes, and any other security agencies to take care of the road so that people in that area will be able to go to their farm freely.
The matter of urgency public importance raised by my colleagues of Takum. Sir, as if we can all recall, in my constituency, Kalemtu, there was a lot of challenges when it comes to security. And we have a camp in Andami, Kambari, that are joined together with vigilante and hunters. The responsibility of feeding lies with the community to the level where they are not afford to feed the camp. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we are in the rainy season and most of my constituents are farmers. The banditry that are attacking our area are coming into the state through the bordering states, Gombe, Bauchi, and Plateau.
Mr. Speaker, may interest you to know that shortly before coming here, there is an attack ongoing in one of my communities. And the issue is very worrisome. The case in Usa is almost like what is happening between Ukraine and Russia. It's as serious as that. The people in my constituency, Honorable Speaker, they find it difficult to sleep as I'm speaking. The aged are in the bush. The young ones are also scattered all over. I was just called now. One of the community that is close to my hometown is being attacked as I'm speaking now. Sir, it's a very serious issue. And I want to say, if this issue is not being contained now, it will consume us entirely in this state. So I wish to appeal to this honorable house to take a very decisive decision and communicate the executive to make sure that an action is taken immediately. More securities should be deployed to our communities. As yesterday, there was a community who was attacked and lives were lost. Sir, I want to submit that an urgent step should be taken. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I wish to say that the security situation in my constituency, that is Takuntu in particular, is already deteriorated. And already we have a serious humanitarian crisis on ground in Takuntu. Mr. Speaker, as I speak, you cannot travel from Takun, the local government headquarters, to Kashimila, which is the headquarters of my constituency, as a result of the activities of bandits and kidnappers. You cannot travel on your own unless you take a police escort, even as a commoner. Yesterday, after the sitting here, I received a report from the constituency that some people were attacked along their way between Takun and Kashimila. So the situation is such that you cannot travel on the road, not even to talk of going to the farm. Farmers don't go to their farms. This is my findings. I came to discover in my finding that each time there is a communal crisis or other farmers' crisis, the aftermath is usually characterized by activities of bandits, kidnapping, and all sorts of security challenges. So it is my humble prayer to this house that the house do resolve and direct the executive arm of government to quickly set up a committee, a peace committee that will dig down into the immediate causes of some of these other farmers' crises. Once these are resolved, once the causes are identified and resolved, I'm sure it will go a long way to address issues of kidnappings, bandits, and because some of these bandits that are hiding in our bushes are mercenaries that were brought to fight the war, and usually after the war, they turn around and indulge in other form of vices that has put our communities in serious danger. Therefore, pray this honorable house to resolve and direct the executive and to quickly swing into action by deploying security apparatus to man some of our roads, particularly the road from Takun to Kashimila.
Mr. Speaker, I believe in total with the sponsor of this motion and with the various constituency raising concern of insecurity that is endeavoring the state. Mr. Speaker, I pick up with the honorable member representing Karen 1 that he has foreseen the security architecture to happen overhaul. Mr. Speaker, you can agree with me, the man there as executive governor is area of specialization in security. And what all we are saying is within the ambit of the law. That is the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended in section 14 sub B. With your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, I can read. Yes, Mr. Speaker. The section 14 sub 2B, that the security and welfare of the people shall be the primary purpose of the government, and so many other things. Mr. Speaker, you can agree with me. With your kind permission, I would like to ask a prayer that the emergency should be declared in the security aspect as declared in the educational sector. Because this thing is involving the whole Taraba state, there is no safe place. Certain, as I'm talking yesterday in the constituency, one of the teacher was kidnapped, and a lady right after was also kidnapped. So they are protecting, even in Janibu, there is a safe place. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, and I pray if this House will grant me that a state of emergency will be declared in regard to security and protection of this state. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I also suggest that military presence be established at some of the identified illegal crossing points along the River Tonga, because those routes are actually being used by the criminals frequently, more frequently even than the road, usual road access leading to the various communities that are being attacked. In addition to that, Mr. Speaker, I would like the presence of checkpoints, not only on the roads in the communities, because by the time these people get to these communities already, the damage has already been done. The entry points into this community should be properly manned in such a way that before they even get to their planned area of attack, they could be apprehended and the matter could easily be tackled. And so,
not only the army, all the military that are in Taraba State, we should have a joint meeting, discuss how do we help His Excellency the Secretary of Taraba State, Dr. Kefas, to tackle this issue, including immigration, custom, civil defense, national law enforcement agency personnel, and all the security people. They should sit together as a team, work as a team, find out how can we help this new government. Because the current governor is a returning intelligence officer. We cannot afford to fail this time around. I want to suggest that. I want to plead that to act. I don't know, to amend prayers or to act. Sit Fridays, pray in the mosque, 2 Sundays in the churches. God will intervene in the situation of Taraba State. Thank you.
I stand to support what my colleagues have just said, but I differ in a different way. It's such that we shouldn't treat this as an isolated case, because what is happening, the security architecture of Taraba State entirely is at stake. So I think if we are calling upon the state governments, there is a need for total overhaul of our security architecture, because when we treat them in piecemeal, tomorrow you will hear another part of the state is being engulfed by bandits. So, but when we have a robust kind of security architecture, and the funding of the security agency matters very much too. You can't ask a policeman without a vehicle to go to chase a bandit that has sophisticated weapons with vehicles. So I think while we are doing this, there's a need also to look into the overall architecture of our security units in the whole state, and then we treat them holistically, so that next, when they have any intention of running from southern Taraba to either central or north, they will know that they are going to meet a tough resistance. Thank you, sir.
The issue of attacks is not only peculiar to Taraba State, but is at a particular time it became a national issue. But thank God that there's a new government in place, and I'm sure that the body language of the present government will actually speak for itself, that these things must stop. We cannot continue like this as people. Taraba State is blessed.
Security is everybody's business. And for us to succeed, as a matter of concern, And as a responsible House of Assembly, we must partner with our governor to make sure that he succeeds, particularly in this area. We know that he's coming from that background, but he cannot do it alone. He cannot do it alone. So, as a responsible House and honorable members who care for their people, we must give him the fullest support of this area so that he is supported, and so that he succeeds, particularly in this area.
Meanwhile, Governor Kefas Abu has approved the appointment of Commissioner of Police Agola Asaya Abe, retired, as the chairman of Taraba State Marshal Security Guard. Security experts believe the steps taken by the governor by getting critical stakeholders to join in the fight against security challenges bedeviling the state will bring the desired results.